Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelvin and I'm happy that you are here. Over here, what we do is that we learn about our health, our wellness, and how we can merge the two and enjoy the best form of our life. So I'm happy that you are here today. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 food habits that you ought to break or you ought to change if you are serious about weight loss or if you are serious about maintaining an ideal weight. Now, one may wonder, why do you even have to bother maintaining an ideal weight? Well, guess what? Being overweight or obese is associated with almost every disease condition that has ever been named in this world. It's hypertension, diabetes, cancer, you name it. Obesity is somewhere in the risk factors. And so if you can maintain an ideal weight, it goes in your favor. And these tips that I'm going to share with you are definitely core in the habits that you need to have locked down if you are serious about your health today. So without further ado, let's dive right in. 5 habits you need to develop, you need to cultivate if you are serious about maintaining an ideal weight. Number 1, cut out processed foods. And here I'm speaking specifically about sugar. Cut out processed sugar. Now look around you. Every food you are eating right now is full of sugar. And in fact, whatever food you consume is eventually also broken down to sugar by your digestive system. So if you think about it, you really don't need any additional sugar. It's one of the first habits you need to break is the temptation to add table sugar to the food that you are consuming. Is it breakfast? Is it a beverage? Whatever it is, do not add any more sugar because there's already enough sugar in it as it is. It might not taste as nice, but trust me, there's sugar in there. And if you can develop this habit, it will go a long way to help you live a much healthier life. You can take this a step further by actively avoiding foods that have added sugar, such as drinks, boxed juices, pastries, any food that has added sugar. Try as much as possible to stay away from it. This habit alone can help you shed close to 5 kg, if not more, in a matter of weeks. And so it really makes a difference. You can also opt to replace your sugar. So instead of consuming processed white sugar, you can go more towards the less processed brown sugar or even honey. Those are better options than processed white sugar. So that is the first habit that you have to cultivate if you are serious about maintaining an ideal weight. The second thing is more of trickery than reality. And here's how it goes. Use a smaller plate for all your meals. Now, the brain has a way of analyzing your plate. If you are holding a plate and the food in the plate is so small compared to the size of the plate, you are more likely to want to add more food to that plate. And so if you turn things around and use a smaller plate, the same quantity of food on the bigger plate that seems small suddenly appears much bigger, and immediately your brain will register this as enough food. And so just by changing the size of your plate, there's a tendency of eating far less. And if you consume far less food, it means that you're consuming far less calories. If you're eating far less calories, you're going to force your body to rely on its stored energy, which is your fat. So your body is going to begin to break down your fat cells to add to the calories you've consumed so that you have enough for the day. And so just this small change, size of your plate, can make a big difference. So use a smaller plate next time you feel like having a meal. Number 3, do not get distracted when you're eating. Now, many of us treat mealtime as one of those things, so we do everything else but just focusing on the food. But that's one of the biggest mistakes we can actually make. When it's time to eat, it's time to eat. Everything else should wait for you to finish eating. So you need to focus on the meal that is in front of you and finish it as quickly as you possibly can. Research has shown that people who eat their meals whilst they are watching a TV or playing with their phones tend to eat far more than they ought to eat because they are distracted. And so if you're eating, you need to make sure that there's no distraction. Put the phone aside and spend 5 minutes, finish that food quickly, and then move on to the next thing. When you do that, you are likely to eat far less than if you're eating and watching TV. So this is very important. It's just a simple tweak of your daily routine. In fact, people who have TVs in their kitchen tend to actually gain weight compared to people who have no TV in their kitchen or dining area. So disconnect that TV, sell it. You need an extra source of income. That's it right there, sitting in your kitchen. Number 4, do not skip breakfast. Now, I know we spoke about how you shouldn't add sugar, breakfast has become boring, so you might actually consider, why not just skip breakfast? But no, that's not such a good idea. Now here's how it goes. People who skip breakfast tend to have a big lunch to make up for the breakfast they skipped. When you do that, you literally negate everything you have tried to achieve so far. The body is such that it does not go back to replace what you have lost in that sense of the word. And so when you skip breakfast and you eat a heavy lunch, it does not make up for the breakfast you skipped. The body only needs energy right now, so it will take what it needs right now. And so if you eat a big lunch, your body is just going to take just enough of that food that you're eating for their energy needs right now. The rest is going to be stored as fat. Because of the size of the lunch, what is left behind is far more than what you had broken down when you skipped breakfast. So people who skip breakfast and eat a heavy lunch actually over time gain more weight than people who actually eat breakfast. And so that's why it is not a good habit to skip breakfast. Eat breakfast and rather have a lighter lunch. You cannot even replace your lunch with a fruit. It is better than skipping breakfast, eating a heavier lunch. This is good advice, so take it. And last but definitely not the least, in fact, in my opinion, this is the most important tip that can make a huge difference in your weight loss journey. And this is to avoid late night eating. Now, most of the time when we say avoid late night eating, it's a bit confusing. What does it actually mean to eat late? Is it just a function of the time of your eating? No, it's not just about the time of your eating. It's actually the duration between your eating and your sleeping. If you are eating and sleeping less than 4 hours apart, it is considered late night eating. This is critical, and so you must ensure that as much as possible, your meal time and your sleep time are at least 4 hours apart. This is the best thing you can do for yourself. So if you intend to sleep at 10 p.m., your last meal should be by 6 p.m. This single habit alone can help you achieve half of your weight loss goal. And so these are the 5 habits when it comes to food that you need to cultivate if you are serious about maintaining an ideal weight. Thank you very much for staying here. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and activate the notification icon so that every time new content comes up, you get notified. I'm Dr. Kelvin and I am your wellness consultant.